Good morning, Baltimore. We got a ceasefire tonight. And we're going to talk about ceasefire. Well, I'm a whistleblower. You want a ceasefire, you got to talk about ending the war on drugs. I went to jail behind a ceasefire in Chicago. 1986 is about ending the war on drugs. State of Illinois versus Dwayne Davis. I turned in guns and drugs to the police at the police station to end the war on drugs, mass incarceration, the killing of our kids in our community. Take this little journey for me. Like I said, this is the underground. I started the underground in 1997. Shorty's Underground Rib Shack, just like Harriet Tubman in the Underground Railroad. You feel me? What you do in the dark always comes to the light. I was kidnapped by the state of Maryland and Illinois because I was making a documentary about your politics. You got bones you got to deal with. Welcome to Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. President Obama asked for a full investigation in 2008. I'm the subject of the investigation. I'm sure Congressman Cummings had this, the Maryland Black Caucus, the Black Caucus. Y'all had all this information. These are the supporters of Shorty. That's Todd Oppenheimer. That's T.J. Smith. So if y'all talking about voting for T.J. Smith, dog, y'all not need to vote for T.J. Smith. T.J. Smith know all about this. Talking about ceasefire. We're going to have a ceasefire. We got to admit we got a war on drugs. And addressing the war on drugs means that we got to send Scott Shellenberger to jail. I was making a movie all about Scott Shellenberger. That toilet in Towson was all about Scott Shellenberger. I'm a whistleblower on the courts and the corruption in the courts. And you can go directly to the Department of Justice and get this. That's Pastor Dante Hickman. You feel me? These people signed this of their own free will, right? That's Mia Murphy. That's Councilman Costello. And I seen Councilman Costello yesterday asking him about ending the war on drugs. Councilman Costello didn't want to say nothing. But like I said, Councilman Costello going to have to testify. This is a whistleblower's application. And Judge Cox has my writ of certiorari. We're talking about the courts and the criminality in the courts. And we're going to expose the courts and the corruption in the courts through Scott Shellenberger's office. Ain't no law against making a movie. It is a law about what you did to me. And like I said, this is evidence for the Inspector General. I'm giving this to the Inspector General. We're going to talk about racism and Jim Crow justice. We're going to talk about racism in Governor Hogan's administration. Because Johnny Oleski asked for a federal investigation. We're going to have a federal investigation into the police in Baltimore County. You asked for the investigation, I'm the subject of the investigation. He's making a movie called Baltimore Rewired. Making a movie called Baltimore Rewired. And it's all about our politics and our politicians. You feel me? It's about our politics and our politicians. It's about the black faces selling out the black community, claiming to be saviors. He just deleted himself from my emails, but he got a shitload of emails. He been knowing about this since the beginning. All right, that's the snake in the grass. McFadden know about it. You and your wife gonna go to jail. Wanted. You and your wife can go to jail for conspiracy to commit fraud, for covering up the corruption. Mary Washington said she gonna give me access to the grand jury. She ain't did it yet. He signed this. Antonio Hayes signed this, and he has a book called and it's a screenplay for a movie. Senator Antonio Hayes has the book, and it's a screenplay for the movie called I Am Dred Scott. He got it. And these are the supporters of Shorties. And it says right here, we are employing any and all appropriate officials in the state of Maryland to assist Shorty in his complete justice in Illinois. These are the supporters of Shorties. And these are the delegates that left me in jail. He left me in jail. His daddy destroyed evidence. You left me in jail and your daddy destroyed evidence. Your father participated in the fraud. Where's Branch at? Your brother and you been knowing about this since the beginning. And you gonna run for Congressman Cummings' office? No. You, Jill P. Carter, Kwasi and Fume, y'all all knew about this. And y'all helping white America keep black America locked up. I want to access the grand jury. And I'm going to have y'all testify in front of that grand jury. Bring everything I gave you. All the emails from 2008, 9, and 10. We're going to show you the black faces selling out Baltimore. And I ain't got a problem because I said it to your face. Governor Hogan got all this. Like I said, I'm making a movie. It's the narrative life of Frederick Douglass. It's about being a slave, an American slave in 2020. We slave to this judicial system, the criminalization of poverty. I had $2.6 million. I had a $130 million contract for these movies I was making. I'm going to give the world something to see, and we're going to watch Governor O'Malley and Governor O'Malley's machine. It's all about the criminalization of poverty. Keep your eyes open. Talking about your judges. Like I said, it's the Underground Railroad, like Harriet Tubman. Yeah, I created an Underground Railroad because we need to be freedom. And Governor Hogan got this. I've been a visitor. I've been a mentor. And you've been selling us out. I use toilets to get my shit out. I don't need 1 million people to march. I need 1 million people to pay attention. And they pay attention. Art and activism. And I'm active in my community. Very active in my community. You feel me? That's Mr. O'Neill. That's the complaint. The whistleblower's complaint about his treatment of the inmates in Baltimore County Detention Center. Attorney-client privilege. You feel me? I'm going to break down your prison industry in Baltimore City, Baltimore County. And I'm going to do it from public accommodations, civil rights. Everybody talk about Martin Luther King and how you stand up for civil rights. Well, I'm going to show you how Congressman Cummings didn't. I'm going to show you how your congressman sold black America out. And he got a problem with it. He got all my evidence in his office. So Congressman Cummings, don't destroy this evidence. It's about your prison industry, Baltimore County and Rikers Island. Bobby Zirkin know about it. You know about it. You know about it. WBAL knows about it. That Special Agent Richard McFeely of the FBI, he got this in 2011 while I was locked up. Richard McFeely left me in jail. Daryl D'Souza left me in jail because I was exposing the corruption in your prison industry. Judge Bennett got this. I'm a whistleblower. 2008. Jailhouse snitch. That's Congressman Cummings' office. He got that. That's Eric Holder. He got that. That's Antonio Hayes. He got that. That's the FBI tape. You called me a terrorist. I'm going to terrorize you with the truth. I'm going to show you how the FBI illegally incarcerates and imprisons people. That's Obama. Obama asked for a full investigation. Yeah, my hand to God, we going to have it. These are the tapes. You feel me? These are the tapes. You feel me? In 2013, I gave this presentation to the people there. This is being black in America. We don't need a Superman. We need Shorty, man. And Shorty gonna give it to you. That's a Jailhouse Diary. FBI, 2000 Roosevelt Road, Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, get my information from the Chicago FBI and the Baltimore FBI. Because y'all not going to do me like you did Martin and Malcolm. I did my investigation and I included the FBI and the Department of Justice in it. I included Christian Schaefer in it. Christian Schaefer got the Minority Report. Christian Schaefer got all of this. And if Christian Schaefer can't hide behind the shielding law, if I catch Christian Schaefer on the streets, we're going to have a conversation. Because the movie's about Governor Hogan and the media, the role that the media plays in this. Governor Hogan, Governor O'Malley, I keep my shit timed and dated. I keep my shit timed and dated. And I got plenty of toilets. Y'all made me famous for toilets? We're going to run with them toilets. ABC 2 News, you had these toilets. You feel me? ABC 2 News had this too. This is Chief Justice Roberts. Chief Justice Roberts instructed me to approach the Supreme Court on a writ of certiorari. Judge Cox has my writ of certiorari. This is about the courts and the corruption in the courts behind the war on drugs. I named the judges. I named the politicians. And I gave my whistleblower's application to Bush, Obama, and Trump. T.J. Smith got this. And T.J. Smith signed this. So T.J. Smith going to have to tell the people what he know. We're not going to do the Dog and Pony Show 2020. Baltimore, Rewired. We're going to break you down. And Chucky working with me. That's the Freedom Fighter Award. Shorty Davis. I'm the man from Zion. I'm that man from Zion, Illinois. And I'm getting ready to whoop y'all's ass. Just like Jesus chased the money changers out of the house of God, I'm going to chase the money changers out of the Senate and the Congress. That's Congressman Conyers. That's my shorty program. He got that. That's Elijah Cummings. He got that. That's Elijah Cummings. We talking about we shall overcome. Well, if we don't address the war on drugs, if we don't address ceasefire, then we just repeating history. We can't overcome if we don't open up the book. We can't overcome unless we start moving forward. We can't overcome unless we start taking these white people to court. We got to use the courts the same way they use them against us. We got to use the courts for us. That's why I took the courts to court. Chief Justice Roberts got all of this. I am Dred Scott. Do blacks have rights in which white America respects? That's the jailhouse what you charged me with in Baltimore, because I was going to California to sell this story. You took my truck, my computer, and 8 years worth of videos. I had to reshoot everything that you stole. It was notarized. It's a legal document about racism. So I'm turning this into the Inspector General. That's the Public Justice Center, all right? They got this. I'm homeless. They couldn't deliver this to me. I don't live here. I'm homeless. I'm living in people's houses. I'm living wherever I can, and I'm moving like every 2-3 months. This is Johnny Oleski and Chief Hyatt. Y'all out in public talking about you want to eliminate racism and you dealing with racism. You're not dealing with racism. You're protecting racism. You are protecting racism by keeping Scott Shellenberger in office and not addressing this. I have a criminal complaint. All right, dear Johnny Oleski, all those running for office. All right. Alex Butler, Joe Kane. Yeah, call them. Because we talking about this. The role that the media plays in this. You feel me? So 2020, 2019, level up. This Minority Report is very significant in what's going on. Because I got to show you all the emails from DD Shortman at AOL.com. We're going to talk about John Carton's Bobby Zirkin. We're going to talk about the director of the ACLU. We're going to talk about Hearst Broadcasting. We're going to talk about John Carton's. We're going to talk about Mike Shue. We're going to talk about MSNBC, Ed Norris. I'll be in Annapolis on Monday. When I came to Annapolis on Monday, I seen Christopher Williams, I seen Nicole Mundell, and I seen Karen York. This is when I started in Annapolis. Karen York worked for Kurt Anderson, Nicole Mundell worked for Jill P. Carter, and Christopher Williams worked for Jill P. Carter. Jill P. Carter is a part of this. You feel me? This is an electronic paper trail. And it's about the inmates in the Lake County Jail and the Baltimore County Detention Center. Like I said, I'm a whistleblower. And these are the people I represent. I'm an organizer, and I organized while I was in jail. I organized while I was in jail because I was taught by the best of them. I was taught by Martin. I was taught by Malcolm. I was taught by Thurgood Marshall. And that's why I'm taking the courts to court. And you go direct to the TV One, Radio One. You go to Roland Martin. You go to Larry Young. You go to Franksky. You go to the Big Fat Morning Show. You go to Mark Clark. You go to all these individuals that say they're the voice in the community. Dog, you got black faces selling out black people. And you got a problem with what I'm saying? Dog, never bite the hand that feeds you. And I fed you. I fed you. I fed 92Q. I fed Radio 1. I fed WOLB. I've been feeding you since you was on St. Paul Street. I was here when Nelly came out. Yeah. I did Antonio Freeman's Super Bowl party. I did so many parties for y'all, and y'all turned your back on me and left me in jail, and y'all was participating in the backbiting and backstabbing. Dog, I'm going to have a ball with y'all. Kathleen Hughes, Larry Young, Congressman Cummings, Al Sharpton. We going to talk about being black in Baltimore. We're going to talk about black on black racism, because you're a part of it. We're going to talk about Diana Suggs. I'm going to show you the role of the media. There go Christian Schaefer, Mark Marion, Jeff Abel. Y'all took all this shit from me when I got locked up. Y'all took all this from me when I got locked up. The entire contents of the defendant's vehicle, a 1990 Chevy Suburban. All right? I had 13 storyboards. So I took them 13 storyboards and I turned it into one. I put Governor O'Malley on it. I put Chief Johnson on it. And I asked for a federal and a state audit. You count your money, somebody going to jail. Because I'm out $2.6 million. The state accepted forged checks. The state permitted identity theft and fraud. This is the criminalization of poverty, y'all. Being black in Baltimore. I'm a black Republican. A black radical Republican. And Governor Hogan got all this. So you do what you do. Welcome to the Underground 2020. Harriet Tubman got the movie coming out. What y'all gonna do when this movie come out? Because I'm the modern day Harriet Tubman. I'm the conductor of the Underground Railroad. I'm the conductor and the cook. Everything that Rob Fix got from Letters Design is evidence for a federal investigation. If Rob Fix don't give over all this information for a federal investigation, that movie will never make the light of day. That movie's all about Scott Shellenberger in the courts. That toilet was about Scott Shellenberger in the courts. Ain't no law against making a movie. It is a law against kidnapping. It is a law against theft of my intellectual property. It is a law against racism. You want a ceasefire? You got to admit you got a war on drugs. You want a ceasefire? T.J. Smith going to tell everything that he know. T.J. Smith, you talk about ceasefire? That's why I got your picture and your name right here. T.J. Smith running for office? No, he's selling out black Baltimore. And he's using ceasefire as a way to do fears to get votes. Don't fall for the trap. He ain't nothing but another DeRay McKenzie. It's election season, 2020. When I come to these events, I'm going to shut y'all shit down. GOP Carter run for Congress? That ain't happening. Kwasi Mfume? No, because see, y'all left me in jail. NAACP knew about it. The Maryland Black Caucus knew about it. Y'all making money off of black bodies in jail and y'all claiming y'all saviors for the black community, and you're not. You just as dangerous as white people to the black community. And they hailing you as champions, and you're not. When y'all see this movie come out and y'all see about the shit behind the scenes and what really goes in and what really transpires behind these political machines, y'all not gonna like the Democratic Party. I advise blacks to join the Republican Party and take it over. Make them talk about racism. Force racism into the conversation. Force ending the war on drugs into the conversation. Because if you're not, I am. Told y'all when I started this, y'all rather walk through hell with gasoline drawers on than fuck with me. I still got my crown. I'm the king of talking shit and I can back it up. This ain't a record. It's my fucking life. Mic check.